here are a few tips on how you can start to share using Miro. Number one, you want to start to take notes. You can take notes in your Notes app, Google Doc, Google Slides, any way that you can start to share it with people, but capture the notes more broadly. Number two, create stickies. I would encourage you to use yellow stickies, and what you want to do is capture just a key idea, a key quote, something interesting that pops out from those notes. So your notes might be 1 or 2 pages, but your stickies for 2 pages of notes might be 5 or 6 stickies. At the bottom right corner, you want to use the Miro function to list the name. That's tip 3, which is to attribute it to a specific person. So if you interview me, you want to write my name, Ashish, at the bottom of each one of these notes. The reason you do this is so that later when we move these stickies around, you can remember or see that whether the theme that emerges is just Ashish's theme or whether it's a theme that comes across multiple people. Number 4 is to share in stories. So steps 1, 2, 3, taking notes, putting them in stickies, and making an attribution to specific people, you do on your own. But then once you get together and you want to share with each other, share in stories. Don't quickly just run down the list of stickies that you have, but explain what you observed, what you heard, and how that whole interview went. Once you're done sharing the stories, people might want to interject along the way. Like, oh, I heard something similar. That's great. You can make it absolutely interactive. But you want to take turns and make sure you are listening, because some of the best connections will happen as you're listening and then repeating your story later on. After that, you want to make sure that you're not converging. It's really tempting to make categories and start to file things in organized ways, to start saying, oh, these are all the things that sounded like this, and these are all the things that sounded like that. But what you're doing in that process is reducing that information. You might have a memorable quote that fits in one bucket, but it might also fit in another bucket. So by keeping things open and keeping it wide and keeping yourself more in your divergent thinking, you're allowing yourself to have a broader set of data, be more exploratory, and be more curious.